All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for more Fire Force. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today we are going to be going through volume 12 of the series. Hold on. Little thread was attached to my book. We're going to be going through volume 12 of the series, titled Knight vs. Devil, because we last left off with Arthur facing off against Shinra. Summary! After learning that his mother has become a demon, Shinra gains an interview with Captain Shoichiro Hague of Special Fire Force Company 4 in his quest to learn more about the Adola Link and find her. But in the middle of their meeting, trouble strikes. Someone known as the First Pillar has an Adola burst like Shinra's and is using mental interference to drive Shinra to insanity. The elite members of Company 4 and Arthur attempt to stop him, but... In the chapters we're going to be going through is chapters 97 all the way to 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 105. Okay. Nice. Chapter 97 through 105. Chapter 97, The Origins of the Night King. Yoda, good to see you. And it shows Shinra right there. Shinra standing in fire while the First Pillar is talking to him.
Shinra, you want to see your mother, don't you? If you kill them, I'll take you to her.
And it shows Shinra just standing there in real time while Ogun and Arthur just look at him. It's an Adola link, and if we break the connection, he'll snap out of it. But how? Snap him out of it? Why should we have to snap him out of it? We're not his babysitters. Stop being a baby. If you're going to keep throwing this stupid tantrum, I will show you no mercy. And this is Arthur talking to Shinra. Hey, Devil, can you hear me? I'll give you 3 chances. You get just 3 mistakes. The 4th time you give me an opening, I'll strike you down. Snap yourself out of this before that happens. And Shinra is already using Rapid to try and jump Arthur. Were you listening to what I said? You only get 4 chances! 3, still just 3. Arthur can't even keep track of what he's saying. How did this man get out of the academy? But as Shinra tries to blitz him, Arthur dodges and elbows him right in the midsection, causing Shinra to stutter back, possessed Shinra to stutter back. And then he has his sword at his side. Arthur puts Excalibur right next to Arthur, and then he kicks him away. And that was your first chance. I always knew you were hecka strong when the delusions were at work. I mean, I get that your powers have the same properties as plasma, but what makes you like that? I was born a Night King and raised a Night King. Night King? You're a blue blood? No, seriously, what was growing up like for you? Blue blood. Is royal blue blood? What kind of blue blood is blue exactly? And here we have Arthur just completely not really paying attention. He's not really piecing it all together. And then we're going back in time. The fire at the restaurant was put out in the early hours of yesterday morning. This is the same restaurant that had recently incurred a large debt after a food poisoning incident that...
Oh dear, they're talking about us on the news. Well, I don't know how we'll eat tomorrow or any day after that, but dinner's ready. Go get your father. Yes, Mother. Hey, time for our supper.
And we're seeing a child speak to their dad. And this person has like a cowboy hat on his head, and he takes it off. Well, the kid takes it off.
Mother says our pinched pennies went up in smoke.
And then we find out that this is Arthur's dad, and this is Arthur, obviously, if you can't tell from like the facial expressions. What's up, Arthur?
Why were you staring into your hat? Did you see something in there?
You always ask the funniest questions. Did I see something? Well, I looked inside this hat to see a sky full of stars. I was looking at the universe. And then Arthur's dad puts the hat on his face and just covers it up.
Liar! It's pitch black in here. I can't see a thing.
Are you sure? As Arthur can't get the hat off, and then as Arthur's standing there in the dark, he just suddenly starts to visualize a big old castle in front of him.
I see a castle. It's your castle, Father.
A castle, eh? That is something.
And there are lots of soldiers.
And then Arthur's mom comes in.
You boys, what are you doing?
And it shows Arthur's dad motioning over to Arthur's mom. How am I doing today? Great as always. And then Arthur's mom and dad just start dancing. Come along, Arthur. The ball is about to begin. And it shows what the food looks like, what it actually looks like, a small piece of fish and a small bowl of rice, which is all that they got. But Arthur is visualizing it as like a big, massive banquet, while his mom and dad are dancing in their very small home. And then we see the castle, and then we just see the apartment building. And then we cut to the next day.
Father? Mother? What the?
And there's a letter in front of Arthur. To our beloved son Arthur, your mother and father have left on a journey to save the world. The castle is now yours. From this day onward, you are the king.
A king?
And then we cut back to present day Arthur. On that day, I became the Night King. Dude, I think they bolted. Your parents abandoned you. And then before Ogun can finish that, we have Lieutenant Pan, who interrupts him. Yo, his family just dipped on him. His family dipped on him. His family dipped on him and left him by himself. And they deluded this man into thinking that he was some sort of knight. And now he just thinks that always. And now no one can tell him that. But we're back with Arthur fighting Shinra. And there's a lot of kicks going on, but Arthur's just deflecting all of it. And Arthur almost manages to hit Shinra with his sword. And while that's going, Shinra tries to get away, but sees the sword directly in front of him, and then gets punched by Arthur. You have one chance left. Will you give up on being a hero and perish?
You, a hero? I never wanted to be a hero. That's stupid!
Stupid? If you think it's stupid, then what have we been feuding about all these years?
That's what I'm saying! It's all stupid! I'm gonna burn it all up!
And then it shows Shinra still trying to hit Arthur, but Arthur dodges and proceeds to hit Shinra. Well, they're really just dodging a whole bunch of their moves over and over. But when that happens, Shinra gets up and manages to hit Arthur in his face, and then backflip kicks Arthur away. But it's not enough to keep Arthur down. If I don't go in for the kill, my life will be in danger. Then we have Captain Hagoe. Lieutenant Ban. I know, I've already buffed both of their heat resistance. But if we let them carry on like this, one of them will die. And then we have Ogun. No, they've always been like that, sir. They made me referee their stupid battles all the time, and there was never a clear winner, so I had to step in and stop them every time. They're just getting warmed up. Lieutenant Pan, be ready to stop them at a moment's notice. Yes, sir. Yo, Psycho, what's going on? Knight versus hero. We never did manage to prove which was more awesome.
And now I don't give a darn.
I see. You've abandoned your convictions. Then I have no need to hold back. And that is the end of Chapter 97. Onwards to Chapter 98, Shinra versus Arthur. Special Fire Force Training Academy, as we go back in time to Shinra and Arthur's academy days. And we have Ogun. Come on, guys, give it a rest. Does it matter? Can't they both be great?
Heroes are obviously way stronger and way more awesome.
Fool. Knights are. But we're not trying to be heroes or knights. We're trying to be fire soldiers. Besides, you're not a hero anyway. You're a devil.
What did you say?
I'm going to rip that hero's mask right off of you, spawn of Satan.
Huh? I am a hero!
And Ogun's looking at Shinra's nervous face. You know, the face where he's just smiling crazily. See? How is that not a devil?
I have to be a hero. I promised my family.
And I was entrusted with the knightly throne by my royal father. I see. So we do have one thing in common, as it shows Arthur brandishing Excalibur and him fighting, and then we cut back to the present where they're both clashing. Your determination to honor your vows was the one thing I respected about you. But now I see you were a devil all along! And he knocks away Shinra.
So what if I was? If it means I can kill the demon that killed my old lady, I'll do anything, even be a devil.
Yes, kill him,
goes the first pillar inside his mind. But that demon never existed. Your mother was the demon, remember?
And I've been champing at the bit like an idiot for 12 years because nobody would tell me the truth. My mom is gone. The demon I was gonna get my revenge on is gone. Nothing's worth the effort anymore. I'm just gonna burn it all!
How does that make sense? I don't understand. What about your brother? What about Sho? And then possessed Shinra suddenly lose that crazed smile he had this whole time. And then the pillar inside of him screams,
"Stop talking to me!"
Like she's fully possessing Shinra right now.
Everything I did these 12 years was to find that demon from the fire and destroy it. But the demon was my old lady? You gotta be kidding me! So what am I supposed to do with the bloodlust I've held on to these last 12 years? All the turds who made fun of me. The old geezer who lied to me. This whole disgusting world. SHC is going to get to destroy them all sooner or later anyway. So give me an outlet. Let me burn them all myself!
As it shows crazed Shinra charging up power in his feet. And then the first pillar going,
"Let me burn it. Let me burn it all."
And then Arthur's just looking at Shinra.
"I'll kill anybody who gets in my way!"
As he launches at Arthur. Night kick! And with one solid kick, Arthur completely stops Shinra. Night punch! And then Arthur punches Shinra. When it was Knight versus Hero, there was never a clear winner, but now you're weak, devil!
What?
And then Arthur just Knight head! And headbutts him.
What do you know? I wanted to get revenge for my mom, but it turns out that means killing her. Who am I supposed to spend my life trying to kill now?
You protect the people you care about. That's what it means to be a knight and a hero and a fire soldier. As it shows Arthur in a very triumphant pose on this one full panel.
Protect them or not, those lives will be snuffed out eventually anyway. So why not be the one doing the snuffing? It's simpler that way, isn't it?
Now on your feet! Are you a hero or a devil? Stand up and answer me! Which are you? Give me the wrong answer and I'll slay you, goes Arthur. And then Arthur gets up.
Yes! Burn him to death!
Goes the first pillar as Ogun, Captain Hogaway, Asako, and Pan are looking at at Shinra, just blast up, screaming, and he knees himself in the face. Like directly in the face. Not like in the mouth, but square into his face with enough force for it to actually dent his face in. And then he knocks himself backwards and sends himself flying several feet.
Am I a hero or a devil? Darn it all! I never thought I'd have to seriously answer that stupid question. I am a hero!
And now we have Shinra back to normal. And then we have Shinra in the Adola world. Yeah, I guess I'm going to call it the Adola world. In the Adola world, talking to the first pillar.
Get out of me.
Ah, that's not very nice. I thought your bloodlust meant more to you than that. But I didn't think I'd have so much fun.
Wait, you said you'd take me to my mother. Does that mean she still exists in the real world?
And then the first pillar starts to sink back into the sea of fire.
Maybe, maybe not. But you rejected me, so I'm not telling.
Wait!
And then the first pillar waves goodbye to him and then just disappears into the flames.
Oh, that reminds me. There's Halmia, the second pillar, Sho, the third, Shinra, the fourth, and it looks like we're about to get another pillar. I'll go play with her next.
Pillars? You mean people with Adola bursts? If I'm sensing the birth of a new pillar, the Evangelist must have noticed it too. Who will get the pillar first? The Fire Force or the Evangelist?
Yo, Halster! We are on chapter 98. We're about to end chapter 98.
If I'm sensing the birth of a new pillar, the Evangelist must have noticed it too. Who will get the pillar first? The Fire Force or the Evangelist?
There's going to be another person with an Adola burst? Who are you anyway?
And that's the end of chapter 89. Onwards to chapter 99. Hold on. XCIX. That is the Roman numerals for XCIX. Roman numerals for, 90. Sorry. Roman numerals always get me, Holster. That was the end of chapter 98. Onwards to chapter 99. A new kindling.
Who are you?
I've been watching this empire for a long time.
Then we cut to Special Fire Station 4. And back with Captain Hagaway.
Shinra, you say this woman who linked with you said that soon we'll see the birth of a new Adola burst wielder. She says the Evangelist knows about it. And the Evangelist is collecting wielders of the Adola burst?
I don't know if it's true or not, but according to them, they want to get the Adola burst together and recreate the Great Cataclysm from 250 years ago.
We should always take the enemy's word with a grain of salt, but it's true that we can't just ignore them either.
We're going to return to Company 8 and report this incident there too.
And then we have Lieutenant Hagaway checking in on the two individuals that tried to attack them earlier.
Pupils, normal. Consciousness, normal. No external injuries. I don't see any problem with them.
Did something happen to us? I don't remember a thing.
It looks like they really were under someone else's control.
The same somebody else as Shinra?
No, this was the work of the electric woman we met in the Nether. And this is Arthur talking to Ogun. Then it cuts to Charon there with Halmia.
Looks like the first pillar's gone. So I went ahead and released the Company 4 guys I was controlling. But man, first pillar, what a funny thing to say.
Funny?
She said we're about to see the birth of the fifth Adola burster. Now we get to fight the fire dogs over her.
And this is Charon just thinking like, huh? Then Shinra speaking to Captain Hagaway.
I'm truly sorry for the trouble I caused. I promise to submit a written apology.
Oh, it was nothing. We'll just sweep this one under the rug. I did catch another glimpse of Adola thanks to you, after all.
May I ask one question? You saw Adola. Why do you think that is?
Likely because when I fought that big fire, I came close to the truth.
I see, sir.
Then we cut to another part of the city as Arthur, Shinra, and Lieutenant Hagaway are preparing to leave.
Well, I'll be going now.
Sorry for the trouble I caused.
That's all right. I'm just happy I got to see my grandfather again. And Company 6 will continue to help you in whatever way we can.
A psycho woman who Adola linked with me? She said someone new would get an Adola burst. If she was telling the truth, then we're going to have to protect this person from the Evangelist.
You are such a troublemaker. Who knows how that would have ended if I hadn't been there? As it cuts to Shinra, who's annoyed that Arthur even exists.
Yeah, I guess I should apologize this time.
And then Arthur gets ticked off because he's all like, Shinra would never be so agreeable. Is there still someone inside you?
What? Give me a break! I am pretty agreeable, just not with creeps like you! We'll never find the truth by just thinking about it. But anyway, I'm gonna save Mom and Sho, and I'll keep that fifth Adola burster safe too, because I'm a hero!
Tokyo Fire Defense Agency. Chief of the Fire Defense Agency. Calm down, Obi. Now that we know what the Evangelist is up to, we should band the entire force together and strike. I already talked to the other companies about it. We also had a report that a new person will be obtaining an Adola burst. It's not easy to get people to believe this. Hajime is being especially uncooperative. The Evangelist is already artificially igniting infernals. And there's so much we don't know about the Adola burst itself. No one knows if bringing them together would really cause a great cataclysm. I can't mobilize the entire force without definite proof. But if we wait until something happens, it'll be too late. Exactly. That's why I put you in charge of Company 8. You just keep doing what you've been doing. I'll cover for you. So, we can't bring the entire fire force together on this? I understand. Company 8 will continue to investigate independently. And then Obi drinks some tea, because it doesn't say the name of the chief. Yeah, it doesn't say the name of the chief yet. But Obi drinks some tea and goes, "Excuse me. You're so much more compliant now. Does this mean you've finally grown up? I'm just quicker to give up and shove my objections aside. I don't think that makes me a grown-up." Then what does being a grown-up mean to you? It means caring more broadly and deeply. I will never give up on protecting this world. Excuse me. And then Obi leaves the office. That's so like him. Obi's right. We can't afford any more casualties. We have to put out the fire at its source. The sooner, the better. As the chief puts out another one of his cigarettes, and he has several sitting in this ashtray. But then we cut to some individuals, what appears to be schoolgirls walking through the streets.
Oh my gosh, he's so cool. You have the weirdest taste. What? What? I do not.
And we're seeing someone walking, but a person stops.
Come on. You agree with me, right? Inca, what's wrong?
As this Inca person smells something.
Sorry, I forgot something at school. Again? You go on home without me. Okay, see you tomorrow.
And then this Inca person just starts running, and then she starts smirking.
Ah, the savory aroma. No doubt about it.
Is it coming, boss lady Inca? Good news for us.
You're late, Panda. Sancho.
Sorry, boss lady.
'Cause Panda wouldn't get his butt in gear.
You know, that's gonna be their voices. Is it coming, boss lady Inca?
Good news for us.
You're late, Panda. Sancho.
Sorry, boss lady.
'Cause Panda wouldn't get his butt in gear.
The smell is getting stronger. Get ready. I just hope whoever's house is on fire is rich.
As we see this Inca person in full view.
Come on, follow me.
You got it. But that's so weird. How do you know where the fire's gonna start?
It started in the big fire 2 years ago. That fire took a lot of lives and destroyed a lot of property. I lost a lot too. But in exchange, I got this power. Come on, the fire's starting. It's harvest time.
As Inca, Panda, and Sancho don masks in different clothes. And that's the end of chapter 99. Onwards to chapter 100, The Scent of the Flame. And we see a house, and we see an outlet. And then all of a sudden, that outlet sparks, and it starts to catch on fire in this person's house.
This is the house. It's already started.
Shouldn't be hard to break in. Make sure we can. Oh wait.
Shouldn't be hard to break in. Make sure we can get out. Are you guys ready?
And then we have an old man, elderly man, a slightly older man in the house.
The smell. It's a fire. There's a fire downstairs.
And then Inca appears in the window and goes,
Need some help? Looks like the fire's pretty bad on the first floor.
I'm so glad you're here. Help me.
I can get you out of here safely, if that's what you want. But only if you give me something to make it worth my while.
How can you say that? My house is on fire.
Yeah, not much time to think about it. If you want my help, give me everything you've got.
I have a bum leg. I'll do anything. Just get me out of here now. It's in that drawer. The money is under all the pens.
and then Inca goes over and gets all the money out.
Very nice.
Then it shows the fire raging in the entire house as we cut to Sancho and Panda. Whew, you're heavy, old man.
You saved my life.
And then the sirens are going. And then we have Inca going,
Now they get here? Talk about slow.
the fireground thief struck again?
She appears the minute a fire breaks out. She saves people but robs them blind.
I heard she's young. Maybe I'll fall in love with her. Then we cut back to another area where Inca and her pals are counting the money.
So that's a 20-20-60 split.
Yeah, that's not fair.
It's totally fair. You couldn't have done anything without me.
Yeah, that's a valid point. But that pal of yours, Inca, I just don't get it. There's the first gen who burst into flames and go infernal. Then the second gen who can manipulate and control fire. And then there's the third gen who can make their own flames. But I never heard of anyone who could predict when a fire's gonna start. And you said you've been doing it since the big fire 2 years ago?
Well, I did get this power in that fire, but I can't control flame or create it. So maybe I'm the first of my kind. A fourth generation.
The dumb brute voice. Yeah, you know how I like to do those voices. Yeah, you know I'm a big fan of those boys. Yeah, when this is over, can we go ahead and get some falafels? I heard that they had some on 33rd Street. No? Oh, okay. I love doing those voices. The Great Fire 2 years earlier.
Before that, I had no idea why I was born, or what the point was in living. I wished I could just spontaneously combust and go out with a bang.
And this is a flashback of Inca.
New flames sprang up one after another, extinguishing life with each flare. I had never been in a more hopeless situation, and it made me think, for the first time, I want to live. As the terror and warmth of the flames engulfed my entire being, I experienced an exhilaration I'd never felt before.
And as she's, kind of enjoying the mayhem that's going on, one dude runs past. One dude is running past her while she's going,
I don't want to die. I better get out of here.
And then it cuts to Inca smelling something, and she spins around and goes,
Oh, not that way.
And as she turns around to warn people running in another direction, a burst of fire completely hits these people and engulfs them in flames. Instantly. Killing them instantly.
Huh?
And then she sniffs again.
There it is again.
And as she looks in the direction she's sniffing, another explosion happens.
How do I know? The path of the fire, its scent, it forms a line of sight. And I can see it.
Oh, hold on. Another security tab. Another security tab. But then something shoots through Inca like a thread, and she looks in the direction of it, and then there's And then she's seeing all these explosions happening in the direction she keeps looking in.
It burns from where the line is thickest and brightest. This is a piece of cake. I can get out of here, no sweat.
And then we're back in the present with Sancho. You have this amazing power and you're using it to loot firegrounds. Or would they call it fireground robbery?
Nothing is more precious than life. I'm helping them out, so the least they could do is give me all their valuables.
You don't feel alive unless you're risking your life in a fire or something. And you get the ultimate rush the second you feel like you might die. I think that's what they call an adrenaline junkie.
Well, I do like danger. And the bigger the thrill, the more I like it.
Then we have the first pillar whispering behind Inca going,
Soon you'll see plenty of your beloved danger.
And as she looks around, there's no one behind her. What happened? What's wrong?
Who was that woman? She seemed kind of psycho beyond all reason. I'll see danger soon.
And then Inca starts sniffing, and then she grips onto her clothes, and she smiles going,
I can't wait.
Special Fire Cathedral 8, and we have Obi. I went to the chief and gave a report about what happened in Company 4 and the possibility of a new Adola burster.
And you don't think we can get help from any other companies?
It's finally time. Time for the birth of the 5th Adola Burst Pillar. Better get her first.
You again?
As Shinra is speaking to the first pillar. And then we cut back to Panda, Sanjo, and Inca. Well, we're out. Call us for the next harvest.
Wait. Yes.
As Inca runs over to a railing and looks out towards the city. And she sees multiple pillars of light. In her eyes, she sees multiple pillars of light emanating from locations where explosions are about to happen.
Why? Why are there so many fires about to start?
More fires? And a lot of them?
What? What do you see? What do you see?
People are going to die. It's harvest time. It's going to be another sea of flame. Woo!
And I've never seen someone so happy to see a fire start and then the potential for people dying just so she can loot them. But that's the end of chapter 100. Onwards to one chapter 100. Chapter 101, Tragedy in the Fire. And we have Matchbox 8 going on.
A schoolgirl pillaging firegrounds?
The whole empire knows about her. She always gets to the scene before the firefighters. Some people suspect she's starting the fires herself, but the victims all testify that she's not. But then, no one knows how she finds out about them. And then, Inca is snapping her fingers.
Aha! There!
And as she snaps her fingers in one direction, that very same direction explodes.
And next,
Snaps again, and another place goes up.
we just got a report from someone who says he was...
We just got a report from someone who says he was rescued by a mysterious young girl. And we see people getting engulfed in flames and going infernal. And that schoolgirl is at the scene of the fire we're going to fight. And then it shows Inca, just like that one dude. That one dude in Hunter x Hunter who was just like, acting as he was orchestrating music over the city. I forget which season it was. But she's just acting as if she's directing a symphony as all these explosions happen.
Hey, does anyone have a conductor's baton?
Based on her strange power, there's a strong possibility that she will have the 5th Adola burst.
She helps people, and she takes their valuables. I can't tell if she's good or bad.
Who will get the pillar first? The Fire Force or the Evangelist?
If that girl is the 5th pillar, I have to make sure the Evangelists don't take her down the wrong path like they did to Show. I promise, we'll get to you first.
And then there's just multiple explosions happening all over the city. Hold on. Apparently the boys still haven't been fed yet. I'll be right back. Everyone, I apologize for taking so long. I'm gonna have to keep a much better eye on when the boys need to be taken care of going forward. But we had the first pillar, right where I left off, going,
Who will get the first pillar? The Fire Force or the Evangelist?
If that girl is the fifth pillar, I have to make sure the evangelist doesn't take her down the wrong path like they did to Show. I promise we'll get to you first.
and then there's numerous fires happening all over the city. Then, Lieutenant Hinawa will be at the scene in a few minutes. Let's go! Everybody make sure you've got the equipment I gave you. Both Hinawa and Volker respectively. Maki-san, get Tekio ready. We'll use the owl eye.
The owl eye?
Roger that.
As the hatch for the Matchbox 8 opens up, and then Tekio flies into the air. And then Maki puts on some sort of, headset.
Owl Eye, online.
I installed super telephoto cameras in Tekio, and there's a monitor inside the Matchbox, so you can all see what the scene looks like from the air.
Oh, awesome.
And then we can see everything happening, and it shows the entire streets, city blocks, entire town blocks, engulfed in flames. Look at the area of that fire, and there are multiple sources. This might be caused by those bugs. We have to fight that and the Evangelist cronies? Our company doesn't have enough people for that, goes Licht. And then the Matchbox stops, and Shinra and company get out. Our top priorities are to put Infernals to rest and save the civilians. Maki, you keep an eye on things from the air and give me a running report.
Yes, sir.
There aren't a lot of us, so work with the regular firefighters as much as you can. Maki-san, can you see what's happening? And this is Vulcan talking to her.
As far as I can tell right now, there are 8 Infernals. There's one nearby.
Shinra, Arthur, I have special orders for each of you. Shinra, I want you to search for that schoolgirl and the guys in white.
Understood.
Arthur, if the enemy plasma user shows up, I want you to keep her busy. You ready? Company 8, move out!
Yes, sir!
And everyone's prepared as it shows Shinra immediately taken to the air. Then it has Inka and Sancho watching all this fire happen. Inka, Sancho, and Panda watching all this fire happen with Sancho and everyone just like,
So many fires. And all at the same time. We're gonna make a killing!
we need to get to safety, ASAP.
What are you talking about? This'll be the biggest harvest of our lives!
What are you talking about? It's way too risky.
You can predict what the fires are gonna do, Inka, but we're just average Joes. Then I'll go by myself.
No, the fire force is down there.
Hey!
Hey!
I'll just get all the money to myself.
Come on, wait.
A thrill like this? How can I not jump in?
And then it shows another location, and as we zoom in further, we see someone standing at the top of the building.
Antenna quivering? Thoughts vibrating? Thoughts from all over town are making their way to me. Find you! Use a little more water. Metadon. There you are. Here goes. Guerrilla Radio. Radiohead. Here you go, Charon. Take these thoughts.
And she causes numerous thoughts to beam down to the men who are beam down to the other white-clads that are there with Charon. So, the girl is in the park at the top of the hill. Got it. Let's go get her! Yeah!
Let go of me, Panda.
You're seriously gonna get hurt.
I survived the big fire.
That doesn't mean you'll survive this one. And then it shows Charon, who's... Yo! It shows Charon, who's just suddenly behind Panda. Suddenly, wow, this dude is right there. He was so far off, and he's already there, instantly. And I guess he lands because there's a sudden boom right behind him. He just lands straight-faced, just lands stiffly right in front of him. You must be the 5th pillar. Huh? You are Inka, right? No way. Am I wrong? Huh? You are Inca, right? No way. Am I wrong? You're the fifth pillar, aren't you? Answer me! And as Charon starts to shove Sancho to the side, he goes, Huh? I was sure this was the place. It is, isn't it?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
As Sancho puts his hand on Charon. And then Inca sees a line go through Sancho. And she barely has any time to respond as Charon swings his arm towards Sancho and completely hollow purples straight through Sancho. You know, the same way that Toji Fushiguro died? When Gojo hit him with hollow purple and his whole side was just gouged out and missing? Yeah, Charon just swung his arm back and made that whole man's left side disappear. Just like, he just gouged it out with... That's crazy. I forgot he did that. I thought I was trying to remember what Charon did to Sancho. I knew one of them died because of Charon. But I forgot that he just swung his arm and just completely obliterated this man's torso. Just with one arm. And this completely shocks Inca. Bro! And Inca is stricken with fear.
I can't breathe. My chest.
What's wrong, Inca? Oh, him? You'll get used to this stuff in no time.
As he's just casually saying, you'll get used to seeing people being dismembered around you. What? What do you mean? Then it shows Shinra flying through the air.
Where are you, fifth pillar?
Get used to it?
Come with me. The evangelist is waiting.
And that's the end of chapter 101. Onwards to chapter 102, Raging Fists. And it shows a very dead Sancho laying there on the ground, right behind Charon, with his blood just still leaking out towards the ground.
It's just a body. You'll get used to it in no time.
Get used to? Used to the sea of flames? To the smell of blood? Will I start seeking out bigger risks?
Come with us. We need you.
You need me? Who are you people? Why would you need me?
To achieve the evangelist's ultimate goal, to collect the pillars and recreate the great cataclysm of 250 years ago.
And then Inca sniffs again and sees a thread emanating from Charon. And it's like a fiery thread that has goal start and goal. And it's just like a long thread that connects these two words together.
What's going on? That's not like the other lines. Start?
And then she starts moving her finger in line with where this fiery thread is towards Charon.
Goal.
And when she does that, a streak of fire, very much in the same line as the line of fire she saw, explodes directly on, leading up to hitting Charon in his shoulder.
Huh? Another one.
What the?
And then she starts moving her fingers like she just starts drawing lines in the air. And another explosion happens directly onto Charon.
I see. She's awakened to her ignition powers.
And mind you, Charon is completely unfazed by all of this. He's completely unscathed.
Get out of here, Panda! I'm the one he wants!
You won't get away from me.
And then Inca starts running.
Evangelist? The Great Cataclysm? Fifth Pillar? What is he talking about?
And then a line starts to appear.
This line, it's weaker than the others. I've seen, but
this line turns out to be Charon, who almost grabs her because she moves her body out of the way of the line. And it shows Charon was behind her and he almost got her.
Huh?
And then it shows two lines going towards Inka's side, and she dodges away, as it turns out that Charon was about to grab her with both his arms, but she still dodged.
You can foresee faint heat too. I'm impressed.
Then an explosion happens, where Inka has, start and gold another line directly into Charon and hit him with it. But he's just flexing his neck going,
You have nowhere to run, so you might as well stop trying.
And then as she's starting to run, those same dudes that Haomiya mind-controlled into following him, other members of the White Clad are right behind him going, Charon-sama!
Caesar. What's wrong? Do you still see something? Huh? Did you see something else? What? What is it this time?
And Inka isn't saying anything.
What? You really do see something?
And it shows that Shinra is right above Charon.
The hero has arrived!
And he starts meeting Charon by kneeing him directly in the head and then bouncing off.
You okay?
The Special Fire Force?
Does this mean you're the fifth pillar? I'm taking you with me.
The fifth pillar? The Special Fire Force wants me too? Why? Taking me with you? Give me a break.
Don't worry, I'll handle this.
As it shows a line go through Shinra's head, and Shinra barely has enough time to dodge out of the way of Charon trying to punch him.
You must be Shinra Kusakabe, the fourth and fifth pillars. If I get you both, that's two pillars with one stone.
And then it shows the dudes start clapping their hands, going 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4 hurrah! And they're just doing all these chants. 1 overpower, 2 overpower, 3 overpower, 4 hurrah! And then it shows Charon bodying Shinra, just like with a straight 1-inch punch. He bodies Shinra and sends him flying, bouncing off of numerous things and landing way off into the distance. Then Shinra tries to use Rapid to hit Charon in the face, but Charon barely moves from where he was.
Huh?
You certainly are fast, but...
And then he grabs Shinra and then slams his own foot into Shinra's face and then craters him into the ground. When I say crater him, he brought his foot down on Shinra, then stomped him, and then the ground gave way. Charon is a scary guy already. And then, as that's happening, Shinra barely has enough time to defend himself as Charon just casually kicks him away. And Shinra's not moving.
I heard you went head to head against Sho, but without the Evangelist's grace, you're nothing but a speedy little fire rat. Walk!
And then Charon starts walking, and the whole area he's walking towards, everything just explodes around him while he's walking. It reminds me of Shanks' walk from Pirate Warriors 3. It's an attack where you do these fast slashes twice, and then you just start walking, and it says, and you start doing damage to enemies just by your mere footsteps. Charon is just walking down the street, but the street behind him is exploding with every single one of his steps. And then we have Haomiya watching from a distance.
Looks like Charon's gone and started a fight. All right, Mr. Hero, keep Inka from us, if you can, or else we're gonna take her away.
Go on, fire rat. You just keep running with those fancy feet of yours.
And then Inka smelling
enormous pressure.
And then Shinra,
don't be stupid. I'm not gonna run from you, exploding gorilla.
And that's the end of chapter 102. Onwards to 103, Groping Through the Flames. Please evacuate immediately. We need to extinguish the infernals.
It's an inferno!
Return to the great flame of fire.
As we see Captain Obi delivering one of the pile drivers directly to an infernal, with the Sister Iris praying for them in the background.
Latome.
That's the third one. There are several more. And then we have Maki going, pardon me.
There are several of them throughout the town.
The owl eye shows me some of them are near you, Lieutenant, and it looks like they're still multiplying. There's too many of them. They have to be using those bugs. There's gotta be someone out there calling the shots. What do you bet it's the plasma user from the Nether? And it shows individuals walking in white through the streets. Halmia-sama, we've completed our survey of the East District. All these and still no compatible host. Let's try the next district, as they're just casually going through different districts, infecting people with these firebugs and turning them infernal. Because as they're saying this, a person is turning infernal right behind them. But that's one that failed to be compatible.
The fire force is out there. Keep your distance.
Blue stripes, we've got an infernal! Fire extinguishing grenade. Firing special extinguishing grenade. And then an infernal just goes up, just gets caught in this grenade and the fires go out. There's too many of them. Hold them off with your hoses until we can put them to rest. Yes, sir! Maki-san, we're managing to fend them off, but we can't extinguish them without a nun.
Roger that.
Then there's some patter right behind Vulcan. Sister Iris is on her way. We just need to last until she gets here. And as he's saying that, a big muscly infernal comes bursting through the building right next to him and swats away Vulcan. Vulcan! Goes Captain Hinawa. There's another one behind you! As it shows Vulcan kicking something towards this infernal as it's rushing towards him, but it explodes, and it turns out to be like a short extinguishing grenade. And as he gets knocked back, this infernal is steadily trying to run towards him. But then the infernal's leg gets blown off by Lieutenant Hinawa. I am very sorry. You'll have to forgive me for extinguishing you without a prayer.
The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release. Ashes as ashes. May thy soul return to the great flame of fire.
And then it shows Captain Obi putting an axe, one of those gun axes towards the back of this infernal, going, Lotto. And then he just fires his gun. Yeah, I'm looking, and that is Captain Obi.
Are you all right, Vulcan-san?
That was close. Thanks. Sorry we took so long. We had to put another one to rest first. Keep fighting them on the front lines. We have to make sure this area is clear before the regular firefighters can take out the flames. Understood. Can you handle it? Can you handle it, Vulcan? No problem, sir. There were 2 more infernals down this street. If I'd known it was going to be this bad, I wouldn't have come. This distribution of infernals is so unnatural. I bet they're using the bugs to lure us apart. Find the plasma user. She should be somewhere in town giving orders. And both Vulcan and Maki are looking for her, or at least attempting to, and they see her.
Vulcan, I caught the enemy plasma user on my ally.
Yeah, I see her too.
I'm going to send Arthur her way, so give me her coordinates.
You got it. They're on the way. Then it shows Arthur helping people evacuate.
Arthur, can you hear me? We found the plasma user. I'm coming to pick you up, so you can go fight her.
And then it cuts back to Charon versus Shinra. I'm going to collect you too, so just wait quietly until I'm done with her.
You gotta be kidding me! I make my own decisions! Who do you people think you are? I have no idea what you're after, but collect me? Go with you! You don't get to decide!
Do you have an Adola burst and you think you have any freedom? Well, you don't!
As Inca is then once again stricken with fear and thinking about how Sancho instantly died. Because Charon's directly in her face. But then Shinra comes in and tries to kick Charon in the face, and it really doesn't do much to him.
Come on, I'll take you somewhere safe. Trust me, I'm a hero.
What? Somewhere safe? Why would I go anywhere that boring? A life without thrills isn't any fun at all. I'll pass, thanks.
And Inca has this weird look in her eye, like her eyes have become more starry-eyed than normal, because her pupils are kind of unique. Her pupils are kind of unique as it has like star shapes in them.
What are you talking about? You saved people too, after you took their money.
I'm not going to give you anything for saving me.
I was never asking for payment.
That's why you people all think you can expect someone to help you. You're creating a society of incompetent slackers who can't do anything but wait!
What does it matter? As long as people are being saved. Just because you have powers doesn't make you better than anyone else.
Nobody knows what's right or what's wrong. Don't force me into your boring safety!
And as she's looking at Shinra, preparing to use that start to goal move that she used on Charon before, she sees that it's just a massive bundle of lines that she really can't figure out what to do. She really can't figure out which ones to use because there's so many bundles of lines all around Shinra.
Wow, this will be tough to unravel. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna burn like everyone else I've seen.
What's she doing?
As she's just making those finger movements in order to get from start to goal.
So why not follow whatever path I feel like?
As she's humming, it then results in a massive explosion right point blank where Shinra and Charon are. And then Inca runs away in the confusion.
Wait! Don't force me
into your boring safety.
This doesn't mean I can just abandon her.
And as Shinra tries to go after her, Charon is directly in front of Shinra, and Shinra barely has enough time to cover his chest as Charon proceeds to try and punch him, but Shinra is actually using his feet to keep from being launched back. That's actually very smart. He's using the firepower from his feet to keep from being launched back by Charon.
The fifth pillar belongs to us.
You're in my way!
Then we have Hinawa and Vulcan.
They're close, somewhere in this area. Watch yourself. Picking up multiple heat sources. Don't leave my side. 2 infernals at 1 o'clock, 1 at 9. No, those aren't the only ones. I can see that. How are we supposed to deal with all of these infernals if we can't extinguish them? Wait, one of these readings is much stronger than the others. What? What does that mean?
And then a horn pokes through the fire.
What's that?
As we see another horned infernal make its way out of the flames.
A demon infernal!
And that's the end of chapter 103. Onwards to chapter 104. We're only going up to chapters 105, and that'll be the end of this particular volume. Yep. So we only got 2 chapters, this one and the next one. Chapter 104, Bonds of the Fireground. And we see this big one-horned infernal standing through the flames. And then we get Haumia.
I love it! Of course there's a demon. We got an adult burst awakening after all. I knew if we went around using bugs to combust people, one of them would turn out to be a demon. Anyway, they've got their work cut out for them. They can't put out an inferno without putting its soul to rest. That fire source sure has a thing for bondage. Restricting themselves like that fire force sure has a thing for bondage. Restricting themselves like that.
Sorry, almost bit my lip there. Then we have Sister Iris going.
All right, I'm ready.
The sister is on her way to you. The sister is on her way to you. Hold out until she gets there.
Oh wait, this is Maki.
The sister's on her way to you. Hold out until she gets there.
It's not just normal infernals over here. We got a demon on our hands. We can't possibly hold them off. Tell her to hurry.
And then Sister Iris is still running.
I'm sorry for the delay. I'm almost there. I'm sorry I'm late.
And it turns out that it's Tamaki. It's Tamaki. She's a nun now.
It took me a while to change clothes.
You're trained to be a nun too, Tamaki?
Well, I did come from Company 1, but this will be my first real extinguishing. Now let's get right to...
And as she's saying this, her headpiece gets caught on some rebar, and she gets yanked, and somehow flies completely out of her robe with only her headpiece remaining on.
Why?
How did that take off everything from the neck down?
Wait, this is Hinawa going.
How did that take off everything from the neck down? And why is your habit the only thing still on? A bikini and a habit. That's a pretty niche fetish. No, If you could get to heaven with something like that, I can see that as a thing. Don't be stupid. It's not a thing.
And then the Infernals start rushing towards Hinawa and company. It's funny.
Here they come. But we can't extinguish him. What do we do?
And then the whole area just gets covered in ice as multiple Infernals are completely frozen. And both Hinawa and Vulcan are surprised.
For crying out loud, Tamaki. You never change, do you?
It's Lieutenant Kareem!
Lieutenant Kareem!
I hear you were short-handed and short of clergymen. This is Hinawa. We just met up with Lieutenant Kareem from Company 1. So, he's joining us? So he's joining us, eh? Good.
I thought we weren't going to get help from other companies.
Not officially. That's why I put in some personal requests. We got a request from Captain Obi requesting emergency backup.
And then it shows Shinra surrounded by all the men that were following Charon.
The girl got away. Get her.
Yes, sire!
Wait!
As he goes to move and stop Charon, he goes up against these other dudes that are following him, Charon's followers.
Out of my way! Let me go, you!
And as that happens, Shinra's starting to use his feet to try and get off the ground, but another of Charon's followers sweeps his leg, and while they're one is holding his Shinra in a neck arm lock, like in a neck arm lock. And they slam him to the ground after sweeping his legs out. And then they clamp his legs so that he can't do anything. And then they start to cover his face so that he can pass out. And then it shows something floating towards them. Looks like a bubble.
That's...
My backdraft bubble-ish gum.
And we have Yoru. No, Toru. It's Toru. And his bubble explodes in front of these dudes, freeing Shinra.
You! Toru Kishi. You! Toru Kishiri from Company 5.
I'm just here because we got a request for backup. There's another one? No, I was just, passing by.
And then, as that happens, we see multiple missiles go flying, fire missiles go flying through the air.
Huh?
And the whole area just goes up, because it turns out that Juggernaut's there, too! What an entrance. You just start by sending giant fire missiles, and you just destroy the area? Oh no, why am I here?
Whoa, look at that barrage.
Let's do this! And we see more bubbles from Toru go flying through the air towards these other followers of Charon, and they explode.
We can't just barge in!
Then another missile hits this dude directly in the chest and sends him flying in the air, screaming,
Stay away from me!
As Juggernaut's very big hands, like his big gauntlets, light up with fire, and then it shows, as his hands light up, that big missile explodes.
Nice work, Juggernaut. I'll make sure they never get anywhere near you. So you just keep backing away and fire.
You better!
We need some long-range backup too.
Yes, sire. And we see Shinra flying through the air.
I won't let them have her.
Shinra Kusakabe, where do you think you're going? To Inca, right? Right? That's where you're going, right? Answer my question!
As Charon flies into the air and grabs Shinra. He flies ahead of Shinra and grabs him by the collar.
What?
And then Shinra is then forced straight through a building. Charon just takes Shinra and launches him towards a building. Like he just holds on to him and just use him as a battering ram for the building. This is crazy. I like this. And they go through like a whole house.
Piece of?
And then it shows Shinra putting his foot next to Charon's face and then heel dropping him, launching Charon outside. And Charon rights himself on a rooftop. He literally has perfect balance. He stops himself on a rooftop before he goes any further, and he's smiling back towards Shinra, even though he actually can't see him.
Stop that! Don't touch me! Let me go! Let go!
Stop struggling.
Stop! Let that girl go!
And then Inca gives him the stink eye going,
Stay out of this!
stay out of this. Okay, another grammar thing.
Stay out of this! I want to live where I'm constantly scared to death.
What is wrong with you?
And that's the end of chapter 104. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume, chapter 105, Assemble. Hurry! The Infernals are coming!
Not that way!
How many Infernals can there be in with this one area? Sister Iris, I hope you'll be here to help me extinguish the next one.
Of course.
A prayer may not sound like a big deal, but she's putting the faith of her whole soul into her pleas, and she only has so much stamina and concentration. Are you all right? Gotta go ahead into D&D. Make sure to finish watching the stream when you get back. I'm literally on the last chapter, so enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, Halster. May the rolls be ever in your favor. Are you all right?
I haven't had any problems. The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release. The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release.
Huh?
Who are you? We are a troop of nuns under the command of Lieutenant Kareem.
Company 2! Company 2 platoon, reporting in!
Huh?
Company 5 platoon, I want you to secure an evacuation route for the citizens. Yes, sir! And we're seeing multiple companies coming in to help out Company 8.
Our city!
But also, they're here to help, but the whole city just rages on in fire in the background.
Our city! Someone, please put my husband to rest.
Reinforcements! What a sight for sore eyes, goes, Licht.
Captain, we've been joined by platoons from companies 1, 2, and 5.
Yeah, we are the only fire soldiers who want to save lives. Captain Obi, I'm Company 2 Platoon Leader Takuchi. I'm Company 5 Platoon Leader Tokuyama. Thanks for your assistance. I really appreciate you answering my call. I've known you since you were just a regular firefighter. It's an honor to be of service. It's good to have some genuine people here to help out Captain Obi. Company 2 Platoon, put those Infernals to rest! Company 5 Platoon. Oh wait, Company 2 Platoon, this is still Obi. Put those Infernals to rest. Company 5 Platoon, you evacuate the civilians. Then we have Haumia, who's watching all this go on.
This fire's already spread across the whole town. A few more fire soldiers aren't gonna help you now.
And it shows someone riding on top of Tekio in the air, and he leaps off.
The 5th pillar will be ours.
Celestial Night Slash! As it's Arthur landing right next to Haumia.
Ah!
And now it's Arthur versus Haumia.
That scared me. Ugh, you again.
Maki, I have apprehended the enemy.
Take her down.
So you are the enemy commander. I challenge you to a duel. Have at you!
Charon, I got an annoying problem over here. Hurry it up!
And then we cut back to Inca.
I'm not joining either of you. Get your hands off of me. Let go!
Let go of her!
And as Shinra tries to speed towards one of the members of the White Clad that has Inca, Charon appears right in front of him and just slaps him away towards the ground. And as Shinra hits the ground, Charon's on the ground as well. Hold on to her. Yes, sire!
That hulking mass of yours is getting on my nerves! Get lost!
And then Shinra takes as much strength as he can, and he hits Charon in his chest. Nice try! And then Charon proceeds to bring just the side, like, imagine getting hit in the head with just the side of the hand. Just the side of his hand, he brings it right down on Shinra's back. And then he goes, clap! And he claps his hands, and Shinra is engulfed in an explosion that sends him backwards. But then Shinra uses Rapid to get right in front of Charon, and he kicks him in the face, but Charon punches him in the face. And Charon is the only one to not get knocked away as Shinra he craters a whole wall. What a lukewarm attack.
It's fast, but that's it.
What? You're kidding, right? Speed is power, stupid, and my attacks are fast. They can't be weak. But enough splitting hairs. He's right that my attacks aren't working. The rapid with the Torahishiki hand form is the only killer move I have.
And it shows Charon doing his walk again as the whole area behind him just continues to explode again. That's such a cool way to announce your arrival. You are literally causing the entire area behind you to explode constantly. It's akin to that of Shanks walking on the Whitebeard's ship and everyone getting knocked out because of his conquerors.
He can make things explode just by walking. I could blow stuff up too if I put my mind to it.
And then he's remembering another hand sign he did.
Untie me! I don't belong to anyone!
Stop struggling. Just come with us.
Now we just need you, fourth pillar.
It really is weird that he doesn't have a scratch on him. Anyway, if I keep doing the same thing, I'll keep getting the same results. If I don't think of something different, I'll never be able to beat him. Come to think of it, when I went to Company 7 to train with Captain Shinmon, there was a hand form that caused an explosion. The one I learned from Captain Obi himself. The Korna.
The sign of the horns, you know.
I'm just getting started, you lousy gorilla!
And as this goes on, we see numerous infernals getting extinguished that Kareem has frozen with around the area of Hinawa.
Return to the Great Flame of Fire. That's the Company 1 and Company 8 lieutenants for you. They took care of almost every infernal in the area. All that's left is our one-horned friend.
And then we cut back to Arthur. Who's fighting Halmia. Pardon me.
Darn it! I can't use my message assistant with you around. You really are a pain in the behind.
I will thwart your evil ambitions.
Oh, will you? Oh, you will ya? But the fifth pillar is already ours. The evangelist will be the one to collect the keys. The 8 pillars will be ours.
As it shows Shinra show the first pillar, Halmia, Inca, and 2 more individuals who are shadowed in the background. That's the end of chapter 105, ladies and gentlemen, to be continued in volume 13. And there's another 1-page translation notes. We're going to read that and call it a day. Translation notes. Pinched pennies up in smoke. Page 13. There is a Japanese term for being in financial straits, hinokuruma, which literally means fire chariot. It refers to a supernatural creature that is believed to take sinners to the afterlife. In other words, someone is in so much trouble financially that that person is on their way to hell. Here, Arthur says that their fire chariot has burned to ash, meaning what little money his family had left has also disappeared. Karma. The Japanese page 109. The Japanese word used here can also mean cause and effect, in the sense of the effects that befall someone are caused by their actions. The word Inga can be pronounced Inca. And a big fire. Page 129. This is a homage to a famous woodblock print called The Great Wave off Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. In the original version, a large wave threatens boats in the water and frames Mount Fuji, which can be seen far in the distance. It's a pretty famous picture. And that's the end of the translation notes, ladies and gentlemen, and thus also the end of Volume 12 of Fire Force. Join me tomorrow as we continue with Volume 13. I'm having such an immense amount of fun reading this entire series to all of you, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Later today, we are going to be playing some Warframe and seeing this new Whispers in the Wall expansion that just dropped. So that should be interesting, and I hope to see you all there. But to everyone here, from Yoda to Psycho to Halster, everyone, all I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and even become a member because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.